This podcast is keeping us off the streets, baby.
It's either that or we do all this cocaine.
Hey, we gotta do this podcast. Either that or we do this cocaine.
And you need to go alphabetize my cousins. It's either that or we do all this cocaine.
I need to go try to catch light in my hands and then dump it into a stranger's backpack. It's either that or we do all this cocaine.
Brian wants to do a podcast.
Hey, hi, hello. Welcome to Friend Dog Studios. This is Brian Wants to Do a Podcast. The podcast where we still don't know what kind of podcast we want to do. That's the premise. I'm Ben Oxshire.
I'm Brian Huther, and I want to do a podcast. And I swear by the moon and the stars in the sky that we are going to find one.
We're going to find one just like everybody finds the meaning of Christmas in every Christmas film.
If you can believe it, you can reprieve it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I said on my terrible motivational speaking tour. I had a lot of tips. They were all rhyme-based. If you can outdo it, you can rue it. So you'll regret anything that you improve upon.
If you can think it, you can drink it.
I'm going to make a success smoothie and just throw some acai in there.
I'm going to drink an Achieve-Martini.
Is that how you say that word? Acai?
I think it's acai, which is, helpful. But the C has a cedilla on it, right? The little curly Q.
I got that removed at birth.
I have a vestigial cedilla.
That is one of those Dr. Seuss books that didn't make it past the rough draft phase. Little Priscilla and the Vestigial Cedilla. Brian, what idea do you want to try today?
Okay, here's the idea. A crossword puzzle aficionado, or words in boxes, or I don't know what it would be called. We would discover that along the way.
Crosswords Crossroads?
Yeah, sure. Some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
It would be about C-R-O-S-S-O. A 10-letter word for etymological puzzle starting with C. Crosswords.
I was just envisioning like a Jeopardy type show, but it's even harder and more convoluted because you get the answer in the form of a word, and then you have to come up with a clue on the spot in the crossword clue format for that word.
This is Jeopardy!
The categories are this one, that one, and the other one. The Daily Double is somewhere here on the board. And for the first question, we go to Ben. What category would you like to pick?
I will do
The other one for 200. Your word is donkey.
beep, beep,
Ben, the only contestant.
5 across, 6-letter word for what I'm feeling when I want some donk.
I'm sorry, the correct answer is, what is a 5-letter word for what I'm feeling when I want some donk?
The rules to this show are convoluted. The part of crossword puzzles that makes me want to walk into the ocean is when I am very confident in my answer that I write down, and then I come around to that same area later on and I realize that answer I wrote can't possibly be right because it doesn't fit any of these other answers.
Yep.
And then I'm like, I was so sure. I was so certain. My worldview was solid and now it is shattered.
I don't know what that feels like at all. I'm sitting there doing crosswords and I think this is hard.
Yeah.
And then I think someone made this. Mm-hmm. And I think, what the fuck? How do you do that?
Who's that guy who does them? All of them, the big boys. Will Words?
Yeah, Will Words.
In the competitive cutthroat world of crosswords authorship,
There's big money if you get to the top, so there's a lot of people competing for that.
Will Shorts. That's the name I was thinking of.
Will Shorts or Schwartz?
Shorts.
Shorts.
Shortz. What a fittingly obscure combination of letters, Mr. Shorts.
I bet that's your real name.
Man, I'm just looking through all of the big names in crosswords. We got Trip Payne, who should absolutely not be writing crosswords and should absolutely be
Saving the world?
Yeah, saving the world, getting a USB drive to the Pentagon before it's too late. That's what Trip Payne needs to be doing. Coral Amende, Ben Tassing, Merle Regal. Merle Regal? What a great name.
Oh, there's some really good names out there.
I am Merle Regal. I am the keeper of the words. Pat Sajak and I, between the two of us, we have a sort of a duopoly on words. He supplies the letters, I form them into words.
I know, honey. I know this.
You are my wife,
Yes, I know.
and we are married.
Yes, I know. I know all the things that you've said.
A 7-letter word beginning with M that
Married.
means regret.
Oh, married.
Yes!
Oh, okay. Who do you think is regretting what in this scenario?
Ah, I think you meant to say who is regretting what in this scenario.
Damn, the rules to this game are too complicated.
We're still on the show! You know what I think are some crosswords? Angry,
Angry,
mad,
furious,
upset,
irate,
all revved up and nowhere to go.
livid,
Crank.
irked.
I ran out of words. In our crossword show, there could be a part where we had crosswords. We crossed words with each other. Now, Brian, what does that mean? You might be asking.
I am asking that.
And in my mind, I have a vision of us holding sword-like objects that are constructed of words. But
Sure.
how that translates to anything real, much less something that would carry over audio, I have no goddamn idea.
I think that this idea is one that would be served well by opening it up into sort of like a hypnotic drug trip kind of free association world.
As he says this, Brian is like manically petting his beard. And I know that he's not actually on hallucinogens right now, but like he's given every appearance.
My beard is 2 dogs. I never realized, man, my beard is 2 dogs.
Is your beard only one dog all the time?
Are you going to do a commercial for 2?
I was going to do a commercial for having your beard be more than one dog.
I think that's great.
Because Brian, if you're gonna, here's what you have. This is how economics works. In the free market, you have to first identify a need or a niche, right? And then you have to provide a service that solves that problem. So, problem, everybody's beard is just one dog. That's so little beard canine bandwidth. Solution, if you take this smoothie that I have laced with LSD, your beard is going to be multiple dogs.
I was going to talk about like, oh, whether the free market's actually going bullshit because what you do is you create a need that wasn't even there before. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, this podcast is for me to talk about my understanding of how economics really works. That's why people listen. They're like, what does Brian think about stuff today?
What if we did our own version of like Mad Money, right? But as two people who have not studied economics to any significant degree.
These stonks are going down. Sell, 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 sell. I am telling you, the stonks that you've got in the double doot ABC are gonna go down today. They just had news that the WPT is on its way into a bulldog market. All the experts disagree, which means it's time for you to get with the program.
The way that our economy works, I believe, is that anytime Elon Musk decides to tweet something, everybody rebuilds their house, and we all start over with money, and a new cryptocurrency is born in the twinkle of in the eye of a child.
What you gotta do is stop buying and selling stonks. It's time to get out there and invent your own stonks. There's so many letter combinations that have not been used. Long term, short term. Undersell, oversell. We can take it all, put the alphabet together with some numbers underneath. And there it goes.
I put the ass in assets when I get my butt into gear. Liquefy those things. And I mean get them in an industrial-sized blender and just chop them into a creamy treat to beat the summer heat. Get your boat and make it into something drinkable. If you can think it, you can drink it.
It's time to take your escrow. Take it out of your stonk bank. Take that right into the fiduciary, which is next to the conservatory, which is underneath your aviary.
All aboard!
I think I solved the case of who murdered the economy. It was Elon Musk with the stonk in the fiduciary. So that could be a show.
That could totally be a show.
That's cross money.
Cross
We're
money.
very cross at money, and we have words about it.
That's right. When we do this podcast, we're investing in the stonk. I just like saying stonks. I think that's fun.
It's a quality meme.
I am the king of learning what a meme means 3 years later. I don't know how people stay up on these memes like crazy.
So you're just scrolling through, and every 5 seconds you're just saying to yourself, what is the meaning of this?
I don't know. Get off social media because it's dumb, but also don't because you'll end up in oblivion socially. Like right now, you'll end up in oblivion because social media is literally the only place people go to remember that other people exist.
I go to the bathroom to remember people exist. I sit on the toilet and I just start going through a list in my mind. I'm just like, all right, who exists?
Are you doing like people who are alive now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Because I mean,
Yeah, because total people ever is just, that's daunting.
total people ever. Total people ever. I don't know. I like that just as a phrase. I don't know what it means, but
If you like raise your fist while you say it, it
Total-
sounds...
Total people ever!
We're the total people ever.
Oh, call for unity or recognition?
We're
or
the total people ever.
You're,
We are people.
Yes?
Do you agree?
Sure.
Total people.
You're not anything else.
Total people.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
How many? How long? Ever.
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you. You're asking yourself. The internet is asking the universe. The universe is screaming out into itself. Who am I? How many people are total people forever? What is a planet? Where do these planets go? Is a planet like a cell in my body? Is a planet like a bowling ball? What are stars for? Why did I make those? I didn't make those. I don't have a consciousness. Total people ever. There's very few of them inside of me. Why am I thinking about these tiny little bacterial creatures on the pebble the size of nothing inside of my vast expanse? Total people ever.
Sometimes I see the glimmer in Brian's eye and I'm just like, I can go make a sandwich. I got time. I got time to make a sandwich.
I wish we both had a button that was just like a here goes the monologue button. We would just press it and it'd be like
Sell, sell, sell.
Let's go to Patreon. Hey, everybody. Ben here. Patreon is a thing. We're on there. We're Patreon there. If you want to support us, throw a little money in the tip jar and get access to things like a backlog of bonus content and early access to episodes, you can just go to patreon.com/frienddog. If you like the show, but you don't want to give us money because you are a Republican, then all you got to do is go to your platform of choice where you get these podcasts and leave us a review. If you leave us a review and you're not just trolling, we will read it on the show in a voice that we choose for you. So do any of that and have fun and go to your grandma's house when it's safe to do so. Nailed it.
You know what I just realized about crosswords?
What's that?
You know the little black spaces that are there to make a word end and stuff like that? The first person to invent that, everybody was like, fuck you, you cheater.
Yeah.
You're just going to put the end of a word wherever you want it to be, and you don't have to put a letter in that space?
Well, pioneers are often unappreciated in their time.
Yeah, which is why everybody looks at me funny when I hang on to the tree trunk.
And when you're dressed like a pioneer.
I'm dressed like a pioneer.
You pulled up in your covered wagon, which is salaciously uncovered, and you just hug a tree trunk wearing your suspenders and your old hat, crying, dysentery, dysentery, I say.
It's a completely naked wagon.
Oh my God. Oh my God, it's a mirage. Let me tell you all, a sabotage.
What's that from?
It's a Beastie Boys song.
Oh, sabotage. Cool,
Yeah,
cool,
you know,
cool,
it goes
cool.
the song that goes ramp 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 ramp.
I mean, I think I've heard it once or twice.
What? No, listen to it again. Ramp 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 ramp.
Can you do the first like 4 notes again?
Ramp 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 ramp.
Rant. Yeah, I think I heard a dog singing that the other day.
One of the dogs came out your beard, started howling himself a tune, said, I'm the beastiest boy around because I'm a beast and I'm a good boy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll hear myself say a combination of words and I'll think, better take that back. Better not try to diagram that sentence lest I slip into madness.
I'm a beast and I'm a boy. Ben Auksher, 2020.
My good people, my fellow citizens, I am here to announce my candidacy for 2020. Is it too late for me to sign up to be on the ballot? Probably, but that didn't stop Kanye West, and it's not gonna stop me. So, I come before you not with a message of hope, not with a message of understanding, not with a message of revolution, but with a message of total people ever. Ladies and gentlemen, you may have heard my opponent. That's right, we're having a debate in the form of announcing our candidacies. It's the only square I can find around here, except for now there's two squares, because one of them is you, my opponent, man. You're a total square, which my opponent only likes to use words that have been around for a very long time. He is anti-new words, and that's why you'll hear him smear me with 1950s insults such as square. I say it's time to move forward. I say he a beast and he a boy. You'll hear my opponent say total people ever. But is that what he really means? When he says total, does he not actually mean some of them? Does he not actually mean partial? And when he says people, that he pretty much means that one. That one's fine. I have no bones to pick with that. When he says ever, what does that mean? That's not a word I've ever heard of. My opponent was doing a crossword the other day, and he came across a clue that said 4-letter word beginning with E, meaning always. And he didn't fucking know how to fill it in because he's never heard the word ever. My opponent will claim that there are words that do not exist. These wholesale falsehoods stand at the crossroads of civilization. We have a chance here and now and today to constant and foreverly do the right thing. And if we don't, and there's deer on our roads, we're gonna have it all in our faces. Every face you can imagine with the button you could press, but will you? You know you won't. You know you wouldn't do it when it really came down to it. You don't have the courage. You don't have the guts. You're a little weakling, and when it comes time to separate yourself from the mother that you have, cut your own umbilical cord, put the USB port inside your own belly button, you won't do it because you are the Ben Man. Oh, sorry, I was just making a sandwich. I left my podium to make a sandwich. My opponent will make a sandwich, and I respect it. Hey, we're on the same side now. Let's be each other's vice presidents. Let's be each other's vice presidents. I like your policies. I like your boob. Let's kiss. America. This is how politics works. Founding fathers.
Brian, let's do cones and prawns before I lose my mind.
Oh,
Cones and prawns, what's going on? The cones are pros and prawns are cons. It's cones and prawns.
I did not.
You tried something new with the harmony there.
I never remember anything. Let's do it. I think that one of the cones is I like crosswords. They're fun for me.
Yeah. I mean, I feel very redundant bringing up this cone because it seems to apply to most every idea we come up with. But it does seem like there's an audience for this kind of thing. People like crosswords. People like etymology. People like linguistics. They could listen to people say things about things. Prawn. I don't actually know very much about linguistics. And I'm not very good at crossword puzzles. I'm okay at them.
Yeah, and I'll just tag on to that, Prawn, and say I don't know the kind of trivia, pop culture, universal understanding of all the stuff ever to do a podcast like this, and I would be bored by it. That's a different Prawn. That another prawn. I like crosswords, but I think I'd be bored.
Well, what do you say? Scale of 1 to 10. 1 is the loneliest number, and 10 is exponentially larger.
It's a 1 for me. It's a terrible idea. This idea was terrial. I had a different idea, and I almost said that idea, and then I was like, I don't know, I was doing a crossword earlier. What should do a podcast about crosswords? And I regret that moment. I regret a lot of moments in my life, Ben. I regret not finding ways to resolve conflicts with exes. I regret choices about my education and career. I regret things I said to people that I care about. I regret things I dreamed of and didn't do.
But most of all,
I regret saying that I wanted to do a podcast about crosswords.
and I think you're right to feel that.
I
way.
will forever live with this shame.
I'm going to give this idea a 3. It gets a couple extra points because these sandwiches have been really tasty.
Yeah, I do like these sandwiches. I have a question about the little itsy bitsy spider.
Now you waited till now?
I'm sorry. This has been eating me up for a month.
All right, hit me with it.
Itsy bitsy spider, as we know, crawls up the water spout.
Sure.
Down comes rain and washes a spider out.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Defeating the spider's effort to climb up this water spout, which presumably the spider did for a goddamn reason. And then the spider climbs up the water spout again.
Do you not understand that this is just a child's retelling of the myth of Sisyphus? That's what this story is all about. That spider is cursed to continually walk back up that water spout and be washed down again.
So Itsy Bitsy Spider is actually like an existentially nihilistic children's song that's meant to teach children about the angst they will someday experience and have to overcome.
And the futility of living.
Right. And you have to enjoy pushing rocks or...
Yeah. Climbing spouts and then getting out. If you can spout it.
You can out it.
Until next time, I'm Ben Oxshire.
I'm Brian Huther.
And we will see you on the next episode of Brian Wants to Do a Podcast.
Be horny if you want. I don't care.